Yeah, hello, man. It's Triple B in the house, My house, so obviously I'm in my house. um, yeah, I want to talk about Naseem Hamed, yeah? So, as a youth, right, I thought, like a lot of people that love boxing, that Hamed was like, you know, super exciting, the boastfulness, yeah? The way that he would deal with the guys he fought. But, as I got older, I realize everyone is obviously flawed, but I have a real problem with Hamed at the moment, right? And this, right? So there's been a civil war in Yemen since 2014. Now, Naseem Hamed is from Yemen, yeah? But he never speaks about this, or he very rarely speaks about this, yeah? Why? Why is he not? And why, in fact, not just Hamed, yeah? Why is the mainstream media not talking about this? Yeah, why they're not talking about the massacre of civilians in Yemen? Yeah, why they're not talking about um, um, an army that's backed by Saudi Arabia, that's backed by the USA with weapons, yeah, with money, yeah, also Israel. Why is nobody talking about this, right? Now, obviously it's quite a complex issue, and this is a boxing channel, so I don't want to talk about politics too much. But look into it. Yeah, the Houthi minority are being victimized, according to some people, yeah, by a Saudi-backed regime, yeah. And there are two different kinds of Islam. There is Sunni, yeah, and Shia. Now, Shia is like Iran, and the Houthis are Shias. Now, Shiites, I should say, excuse me. Now, again, I won't talk about this, I won't take sides. It's a lot more complex than that. But you're talking about a civil war that's been going on since 2014. And it's like every kind of war. The people that suffer are the normal people trying to live a normal life, yeah, and eat groceries, have some kind of existence, some shelter. So why is Naseem Hamed never spoken about this? He is the most high-profile Yemeni guy, certainly in the UK, yeah. And Barry Jones is ex-world champion, who is Welsh, but he has, I think his grandfather's Yemeni. He's spoken about this a bit of time, but he hasn't got the platform like the say Naseem Hamed could if he talked up. Yeah. Now the question is, why is Hamed not talking about the civil war? And there are a number of reasons, right? Now, first of all, you got to look at Naseem Hamed and realize he's a total scumbag. Yeah. Everyone knows he went to prison. I think it was for 15 months. Because he smashed some poor guy minding his own business. He smashed him in his supercar. The guy had like broken bones in most of his body, yeah, his brain injuries. I think the judge said he was like jelly because everything was so broken. So this guy's life-changing injuries. Hamed went to prison, 50 months, come out. Yeah, they escorted him in a flashy car, and he was giving it the big one. Yeah, so we got to understand that Hamid's not a nice person. Firstly, yeah, he can fight. Yeah, he was entertaining, but he's a nasty bit of work. Yeah, and he ran away from the scene of the injury. Now I don't know how a guy that fat, how far he could run away. Probably ran to the nearest cafe to get food and get fatter. Yeah. But why does Hamed not talk about this thing? Well, there are a number of reasons, right? Number one, Hamed is a Sunni, so he supports the Saudi Arabian-backed government or would-be government, yeah? He has no problem with them slaughtering civilians. There's been hundreds of thousands of casualties, yeah, in Yemen. People left without water, left without shelter, left without food. And why is this something talked about? This has been going on for 8 years now. Yeah? I'll tell you why. Yeah? Because the belligerents, if you like, the guys fighting are Saudi-backed government, which is backed by the United States, which is also backed by Israel. yeah, who are Illuminati pawns, and they don't want people to know about this. They don't want anyone to know that there is a minority that's been brutalized, that have no weapons. Allegedly, they've been backed by Iran, which is another target of the Illuminati to get rid of that regime. Yeah. So Hamed does not talk about it. Why does he not talk about it? He does not talk about it because he supports the Saudi, Israeli, USA-backed regime, yeah, and also because he's an Illuminati pawn, yeah. His purpose was to, act as a bread and circus kind of guy, get people excited, get people to like, immigrants and Islam, and not get criticized. But he has got the guts to question what is going on here, yeah, in Yemen. Barry Jones does, but Barry Jones is not powerful enough. And he knows he hasn't got the ability to speak up against this and cause trouble. Hamed does, but he won't. He'll just go in and out of cafes, eating food, yeah, sitting on his £30 million fortune, yeah, with his white girl wife, yeah, and he won't speak up against it. He's a degenerate scumbag, Illuminati pawn, yeah. And it's odd. People think like, you can think of a weirder triumvirate, a weirder association, a weirder ally than Israel with the US and Saudi Arabia, because they've all got very different religious backgrounds. But that's not how it works, man. It's not about that. It's not about that. It's all about the Illuminati powers that be. And it's all about, their aims. And their aims are to, take over the world, one world government, one world finance, and keep uncomfortable matters out of the mainstream media, who obviously are also part, of that machine. So, people be crying about Ukraine and stuff. Now, of course, I'm horrified that people are dying there for nothing, because it's the normal people who are getting killed. And whilst the government, Zelensky, right? So he's portrayed as good guy. He's a billionaire who sold off loads of contracts, to huge American corporations. He has a £35 million house in Miami, He's a billionaire, Putin is been shown as the bad guy. He might be a pawn anyway, They like to play both sides. He might just be controlled opposition. Most likely he is. And so, they've manufactured this war, to increase food prices, to increase energy prices, to distract people from what's going on, to distract people from like Hunter Biden, whatever his name is, and his Nazi laptop, to take people's attention away from the Great Reset. And it's part of the Great Reset. And they will be reorganizing the world. They said it openly. We will be aiming for a new world order. Look at the $1 note. What does the $1 note say? It's a Latin phrase meaning new world order. These people, stop falling for this stuff, man. So Hamed is another pawn, a low rent guy, but the main thing is to realize how little press is being given to the atrocities happening in Yemen. So yeah, guys, remember, don't listen to me. This is a boxing channel. Do your own research, have a look, see what's happening. But the question of this video is, why is Hamed not supporting, not talking about Yemen? Because he's supporting the Illuminati, and because he has no problem with all these innocent people getting massacred, just like the guy he mashed up in the car crash.